Diagnosed with any type of like mental illness or any type of diagnosis, any type of learning disability, anything like that?
I have a crazy problem.
Because obviously, Ace, you have a crazy problem. Y'all, what the hell is going on with Love Island USA Season 7 Ace Green? He completely blindsided Nicolandria. Completely blindsided those folks, hating on Nick, hating on Alandria for what? And then doubled down and told all the business. Said on the just running his mouth. I didn't even listen. I have my moments with Ace while I was watching the show of Love Island, but I tend sometimes I toggle between this switch, right? Because I feel like I have a real good grasp for people. Let me tell you something. I don't be wrong. I just be ahead of my time. And there was just something about him that didn't seem genuine. However, he was consistent with his inauthenticity. He was consistent with his fakeness. So people can be disingenuous, but because they are so consistent with the fakery and the foolery of it all, you start to back off and you say, you know what, maybe I'm reading a little bit more into this than I should be. Oh, come on, lighten up. And I found myself having those conversations right as I was watching the show. But then if you really get granular, that's when we really look deep, right? If you really get granular, I kept saying, now why in the hell does it look like you're coming off as being very romantic to Shelly, but technically you ain't really doing shit because you got Nick, Taylor, you got the other boys, the Do Boys, really rolling out and doing the heavy lifting, and you're just kind of showing up and enjoying the soft and sweet parts as if you were Shelly. But I overlooked that. His mouthpiece, there were times I felt he was a bit intrusive, but I was like, you know what? Let's not judge so harshly. Maybe this is just, I don't know. Maybe he's different. But what it comes down to, I'm going to say this, Ace, you jealous. You jealous, and you tried to have that villa on lock. You tried to dominate, control, and make strategic moves. And I think part of the reason you had such a repulsive reaction to Jeremiah is because that man really did like Huda. He probably liked Huda and intended to take, I don't know if Jeremiah was a sucker for Huda. Let me just say that. But at the same time, you wouldn't really. Because if it was about, they kept saying, well, it's about exploring other people, right? He just had me confused, to be honest. He had me confused. And Ace is young. Ace is like 21, 22 when he was in that villa. He just turned 23. And if Ace could run circles around most of us like that, either you're highly, highly mature or you're highly, highly manipulative. And I went with mature. What about y'all? I went with mature because number one, I wasn't trying to just come down too hard on the black folk there. I didn't like some of the moves, they were the men were making, the lack of effort that I felt like, because if the truth be told, can we really talk? He really didn't put in a lot of effort into Shelly. If you go back and you rewind the damn tapes and watch the show again, he really didn't put a lot of effort into Shelly. When it came time for him to pick Shelly, he never picked her. He didn't pick her until it came down to the wire, all the way to the end. He always kept his options open. And then he picked the other chick, the Latina chick that got kicked off the show, not Sierra. There was another one that got in trouble for racial slurs. What's up with all these Latins that feel some kind of way about black folks? We'll come back to that another time. And Debbie said, I've been said that he had issues when I was watching his show. He's controlling. He's manipulative. I don't know if it's the way he's the way he's raised, but it seems like he's become accustomed to getting all of the attention. Because, before Ace got on this show, Ace went kind of viral. He had a genuine following because he was teaching those Middle Eastern people how to dance. Why did he go back and clean up y'all? He went back and scrubbed all of that shit off his social media. as if he wants to forget his humble beginnings and want us to pick up from where he is right now with this Love Island thing. I think Ace is arrogant. I think he hides it well. And I think he's a hater. I think he's a hater for the things that he did and said about Nicolandria was completely uncalled for. And Shelly, I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that that's your friend makes me side eye you, because why is your man so comfortable speaking on Alandria? Why are you so comfortable worried about what Alandria and Nick have going on romantically? And I don't give a damn if Nick did tell you that. Shut your damn mouth. Shut your damn mouth. You know we don't tell business like that. Let them do what they gonna do business-wise, get out there and make their dollar. Why are you trying to stop their coin? Even if Nick told you initially, they both said there was not a romantic thing, right? I think we all remember that. They told Taylor that. They told Sierra that. Maybe it wasn't. So what? So what? Why are you trying to break them up and throw a monkey wrench in what they got going on social media? And it's giving jealous to me. And I don't want to get out there ahead of myself, but it's giving jealous. It's giving envy, because if there was a couple that hadn't quite gotten there physically and you real close to them, why would you go on a podcast and throw them under the bus when you know they have all of these lucrative brand deals? And not only that, I wouldn't give a damn if Nick was not sexually attracted to Alandra. I like the way he treats her. I love the way he's chivalrous to her. I like the way that, in spite of, if it's true, he's still taking care of her financially. He's still taking care of her business-wise. Are you aware that Alandra went on record and said Nick's family, listen to me closely now, because we like to talk shit. Nick's family, this white family, is making sure every time Nick gets a deal, she gets a deal. If Nick gets a modeling offer for a print ad, she gets one. Y'all, I'll take that any day in a son-in-law or a good friend. Even if the relationship isn't going to go anywhere romantically, those are the type of good people that you look for. That's the type of young man where you start to say, shit, I don't give a damn if he white, brown, caterpillar, butterfly, inchworm. That's a good boy. That's a good family. And not only is Nick making sure that she's taking care of, his family is pushing these corporations. This beautiful dark skin, dark chocolate. Y'all know darker girls are often overlooked. Y'all know dark skin Black women are often overlooked. And I'm gonna keep it real, not by the likes of media outlets, but often by other Black people. And I kind of low key believe you got a little bit of something going on, Ace, where you feel like this girl don't deserve love, because not only that, you ran your mouth so much on Speedy's podcast that you told that the producers kind of pressured Taylor into staying with Alandria. Why would you come out and talk about Nicolandria and then double down on don't nobody want Alandria? What the fuck has Alandria done to you? Why are you so bent on making her like this black sheep of Black girls? What's your problem with Alandria? Do you low key like her, but got caught up with Shelly? What's the problem? Because if you think about what he's saying, and it seems like he's attacking Nicolandria, he is, but Alandra is the center of the focal point for the attack. He's basically trying to shame this girl, saying Taylor didn't want her and the producers made Taylor stay with her. If you knew that, then why were you and Shelly trying to pressure her to stay with Taylor when you know he didn't want her? Shelly, why would you go along with that and then call her your sister in the villa? And not only that, Shelly, I'm looking at you side-eye, because why is your man speaking on your sister or your friend from the villa? I'm going to be honest. If a man gets that comfortable to talk about you like that, or to even mention you and bring you up in his conversations like that, your friend probably telling your business. Or your friend is probably doing a little bit of pillow talk with him and not setting boundaries. It ain't no way in hell. Hey, Samantha, it ain't no way in hell this boy is supposed to feel that comfortable speaking on Alandria like that. Number one, as a Black woman, you's a hater. Number two, as Shelly's friend, because you know that's going to put some type of tension in the relationship. Are y'all following me? Who does that? At some point, it's going to cause the rubber band to break. And the girls are kind of, you can't stay friends when your homegirl man is talking shit about you on a podcast. And thank you. The mayor of YouTube says Nick definitely wants Alandria. They are just taking things slow. I want to talk about that. Okay, that's a good point that you brought up. Can we really talk, y'all? I'm really on fire in a good way for love for what is it called? Love Island. Here's the problem that I think most people don't understand. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I may ruffle some feathers out there. And I'm gonna say it again, we don't teach these girls that you the prize. Because Alandria and Nick did not jump straight into a sexual relationship, most black men assume, he don't want her. Why? Because she ain't laying on her back with her legs wide open. Huh? He don't want her because he's taking it slow with her. They're supposed to take it slow. Just because Shelly came up out the villa and went straight to your apartment, don't mean you're going to outlast Nicolandria. You getting in bed with a woman, as quickly as you can is not a sneak peek to how it's going to end. If Shelly took it upon herself to come to Los Angeles and move into your apartment and play house and play wife with you, that's her business. That doesn't mean that Nicolandria, because they don't have the same cadence that you've established in your relationship where you get to explore Shelly in every way without a commitment, that doesn't mean the man's not into her. Some men are raised differently. Not every man is a sexual vulture where he feels like because he is Ace Green, I'm leaving here with something. And I think he's misconstruing the slowness and the pace. That is called courting. And I know it sounds so old fashioned, but that's what we want. That's what we want for black women. That's what we want. We want these women to be treated right. And I'm sorry. God will use the weak to confound the wise, baby. And if you won't do it, somebody else will. And this white boy is doing it. And I'm loving it. I am so happy for them, whether they remain friends, whether they move to the next point in their relationship, or they come out and say, we've tried it, but we are business partners. You see this man. I'm going to play so many clips. It is just so beautiful the way he's covered her. I hope it leads to something else, but guess what? I can't make that call. Neither can you. But the way this man has covered this girl as if she's his wife tells me this boy was raised right. I'm talking about Nick. So why would you even open your mouth to have anything harsh to say? I think you low-key jealous of Nick. Okay. And let me tell y'all something. When you say, well, why would he be jealous? Why would a black boy? Ace is good looking. He comes from a good family. Yeah, but Ace, y'all, can I really talk how I want to talk? Bad Apple says he's jealous of Nicolandria and all the attention they get. And he's supposed to be good friends with both of them. Girl, he's disloyal. And why is Shelly calling Taylor her bestie? Girl, what is you doing? We're going to come to that too. I think he's jealous. I think you thought that white boy was weak. And he backed you up. And in the villa, he was your ace boon coon. He thought y'all were friends. And I think the only friendship or partnership that you've come to know is where you're dominating people, Ace. I hope you grow up real quick, real fast before you lose too many friends. I don't think Nick and Alandria harbored or had any ill will towards you. I'm so disappointed. I was like, damn, why would you go out there and say that? Why are you trying to put a damper on them exploring each other? And I love Alandria's clapback. Like Alandria was literally just at Shelly's birthday party, breaking bread. Remember we talked about that? Breaking bread. Be careful breaking bread with folks. Start looking them in their eyes, listening real closely, because some people have no comprehension, listening skills. Y'all don't like to listen. Start listening. paying attention. Alandria was just out to dinner with y'all, breaking bread with you at the birthday party, only for you to go ahead and do this podcast. You've been waiting. And y'all, I'm telling you, he's been waiting. He told that podcaster, I've been waiting. I wanted to be very strategic about who I sat with. I didn't want to sit with anybody else. And I waited. You've been waiting to shit on them. That's scary to me. How this generation is so okay with pretending to be kumbaya on the same page and waiting to strike. K Journey, thank you for the 2-piece and a pepper. She says, preach Sheba. Listen, I was like, wait a minute, this must be some new age stuff, because typically we're not going to move like that. We're not going to mess each other up like that. So what if it's not romantic? What have they done to you to make you go and try to out them, expose them, mess up anything that they could potentially have by way of brand deals, sponsorships, lucrative contracts? You have to be smart enough, because you knew everything in the villa. You knew everything in the villa. You was the head honcho in the villa. So surely you knew that there's a possibility that if these big brand names, these media outlets believed you, that they could ultimately lose any goodness that has been coming their way. But I'm happy for Alandra. Give me 1 second, y'all. Listen, I like how Alandria started talking, and we're going to go through all of that. She said that she started leaning more into God. Thank God she was able to, like, when you get like this intuitive kick where it's like this small little nudge that, let me do this, child. Let me start praying in the morning, or let me start meditating. Thank God she did. Thank God Nick is built the way that Nick is built, by way of his virtues, his family, and the way he's honoring her as a woman, even if it's not his woman. Thank God for that. But then on the flip side of that coin, when we look at her as this beautiful, intelligent individual, thank God that this girl carries herself the way she does in spite of what she's been through. So when you bring two individuals like that together, they can stand up against this. You know what I'm saying? Because they could have lost everything. I'm just saying, because brands be snatching stuff back left and right. But Taylor, yeah, Taylor's a snake too. They listen. Taylor's a snake too. Yes, he is. Okay, Planner Base says Nick and Alandria do not need anyone's approval. They can move on and keep doing them. They are going to continue blowing up. Yes, they are. Have you seen their newest ad campaign? They're going to keep blowing up and prospering. Ace messed up whatever he could have had. He's as toxic as Huda. Listen, and I low-key think you wanted Huda. Because according to the test, they say your heart rate elevated when Huda put that thing on you. I low-key think and believe that you are sexually attracted to Huda, and you have a strong physical attraction to Huda. However, you're savvy enough, manipulative enough, and streetwise enough to know to play the black game and to play that black card, not to piss Black America off. So you played it cool. You kept it cool. Because those dark hair, Latin looking girls, Middle Eastern looking girls, that's really your type. But you wanted to be politically correct. And the same thing that he mad at Jeremiah for is what his ass was doing. At least Jeremiah made a decision like a man. At least Jeremiah, when his back was against the wall and you was trying to turn everybody against him, he didn't fold. He stood on business. He went back to Huda until she crossed the ultimate line. You couldn't even say with your chest that you was attracted to her. I felt like you were as a woman. Am I alone in this? Thank you, Dania. I hope I'm saying it correctly. Dania says Ace has not even asked Chelly to be his girlfriend. Girl, and the fact that she got her ass on that plane and hightailed it straight to his apartment. You said Alandria is signed to one of the top modeling agencies and they have brand deals, both of them. They did an interview with the New York Times, and just the beauty that his family recognizes. What do y'all want to call it? You know, I like the fact that Nick's family recognizes that there are corporations and people that don't always do the right thing when it comes to Black women. What's the word, y'all? Help me out. And they're making sure that she's written into these contracts, that she's written into these brand deals, so that no matter what, she comes out fine financially. I'm sorry. Baby, if that's not good people, I think everything worked out for Alandria the way it needed to and the way it should have. Now, I was going to make a point where I said I low key feel like Ace is jealous of Nick. Let me tell you why I was going to say. And I'm glad I took a second. Because how can I clean this up and get straight to the point? I think Nick is who you pretend to be. I think Nick is who you pretend to be. I think Nick is the superhero that you pretend that you are. And I think when you look at Nick, it exposes your own fakeness and lack thereof. I don't think Nick has this hidden agenda towards Alandria. Nick was hurt when Sierra was pulled from the villa and really didn't want to continue. He didn't have a plan B. Shelly has always been your plan B. I told you I'm going to tick some people off. Shelly was never plan A. This nigga is just street savvy enough to spit that game and talk to her and make her feel like she was, but he was always waiting on something bigger and better that could take him to the top. And at the end of the day, there was nothing that walked through those doors. With the exception of Coco. Coco was a little bit too hood for him. Ace is smart. Ace is extremely accelerated for his age. So he probably considered with Coco, but realized I can only get so far with Coco because Coco got a little edge to her, not as refined and well-rounded as Shelly. Okay. The other Latin girl got kicked off for racial slurs. Iris was your type. Quit playing with me. Eva says Ace repeated what Nick told him in the village. He said he hadn't spoken about it since. Nick said that on the show. He said that him and Nick is cool. They're not cool. Not anymore. I didn't see it. Okay, so side eye Sage 7 says, Queen, did you see that Netflix posted them after Ace's interview? That brand did not care about Ace. Thank you, Mayor of YouTube. I think he was very attracted sexually. I think Huda is his type, but he got caught up. And then talking about he was pressured. He was pressured to keep her by the production team. Why are you talking so much? As if you don't want to be on reality television again. Why are you running your mouth? As if you have all of the opportunities in the world. That's foolish to me. And I really hope Shelly doesn't, because Shelly's 28. He's 22. I hope Shelly doesn't allow him. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying he has some growing to do. Thank you. He completely torpedoed he and Shelly's Essence cover with this ratchet interview. Completely overshadowed it. And sometimes you say too much. I be talking to my people behind the scenes and they'll be like, Queen, this and this happened and you think it's this or you think so-and-so influenced them to do that. I say, can't nobody influence you to do something that ain't already in you. Whatever's in you is going to come out. So if you sit here wondering, oh, I wonder if my mama or if my cousin or my coworker said or did this because of this person that they're now around. Whatever's inside of you will come out. He been hating. He said he waited on this interview. He didn't want that girl to be happy for whatever reason. And Shelly, I'm looking at you like you gonna say something. What we doing? Let's get into this interview. I'm gonna give you a few snippets and then we're gonna get into it as a YouTube community just to kind of review and talk through how we can better support each other publicly. Oh, this is the new campaign, y'all, that Alandria and Nick. Let me take this down. Hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Let me show you the new campaign. And they have several. Here we go. Alandria and Nick, honey. I love. If this man marry her, it's going to set America on fire. Love Islands USA's Alandria Carthen and Nick Van Steenberg stunned for Agua de Kefir. And Agua de Kefir, isn't that like a foreign brand? Can somebody look that up for me real quick? Alandra looks stunning. Listen, I'm trying to keep my excitement down. I want them to take their time. But when y'all are sure, I want to see y'all go all the way. Isn't this beautiful? I want to see them go all the way to the altar. Look at this, fun, exciting. I want them to take their time and date, travel together. This Black girl told him, she was just thinking out loud, I just want to go to Europe. I've never been to Europe. I want to experience that. He didn't come to her and ask for half. He didn't come to her and make her feel like she was trying to use him. He booked the trip. Look at them, playful. This is so beautiful. This is so beautiful. And guess what? A lot of people, they mess with it. Black, white, yellow, brown. There's a lot of people. It's something about this. I feel like it's giving people permission to say, you know what? Let me go for it. This is nice. And that's it. Yeah. Let me see what else we got. Hold on before I go to the interview. I caught this clip last night. Y'all, I had to save it. And they talk about Pepe and Nick recognizing the Queen and Alandria before she did. Look at this. Taylor didn't even have the decency. So this when she was on her last leg, you remember there were some close moments where it kind of feel like, damn, Alandra is about to be out of here. And I think we all wanted the best for her, but we also understood that the process had to be natural and organic, right? You can't force. You cannot force a connection. And even though she wasn't Pepe's girl and she wasn't Nick's girl, listen, they stood up and helped that queen, recognizing her full worthiness, even before she did. Because you got to remember, she really didn't know and couldn't really figure out what America was seeing when it came to Taylor. And she said her mama came to the village and was like, girl, what are you doing? But her mama couldn't say anything because she's bound by NDA. And she kept wondering, mama, what are you seeing? What you talking about? What is it that y'all are seeing in America that I'm not? Guess what? These two men were not in America. They were in a house in a villa and saw that she was worthy, even as a friend, right? Not necessarily romantically, saw that she's worthy of being kind to. I like a good old story, honey. Let me see what else we got before we go to the next one. Right here. So this clip I'm about to show you is where they went on. Hold on. This girl breaks it down. Let me turn it. They went on. Who is this guy, y'all? Hold on. Is it Conan O'Brien? They went on a show, a talk show late at night, and Alandria has stress and anxiety. Watch this.
Your thing, delusion never stops. So she's nervous. She's like, I don't know what to do with my hands. So she drops them. She's like, I don't know. He's like, it's okay. He peeps it immediately. It's okay. It's okay. Relax. He peeped it immediately. Hold on. Y'all got to walk with me. The walking never stops. We get our cardio in, okay? We get our cardio in. Immediately, walk again, cardio, walk again. Now, watch it play back. Watch it play back. They both nervous, but he gonna cover her watch. She nervous. He nervous. He gonna put his hands up. He don't know what to do with his hands either. So she followed his lead. She like, nah, that's not right. He peeps it. He peeps it. Calm down. Exactly. That's exactly what happened. As a day one.
Baby, if that is not a protector, Jimmy Fallon. If that is not a protector, even if it's not romantically, if that is not what you deserve as a woman, child, go ahead and log off, Jimmy Fallon. Thank you. Thank you. Didn't say a word. Y'all, what is it called? Synergy. Synergy. Let me make sure I'm using the right words, child. I don't want y'all talking about me like a dog. When I get off here, synergy. Let's see. Yes. He felt it. He's familiar. You remember she said she has anxiety. I think she said she has a little bit of anxiety. Listen, beautiful girl, but these are new opportunities to her, but not new to him. And he recognizes that his world is different from hers by a lack of equality. See, that also, it ain't just about a white man being good to her, but it's also about a white man recognizing what the world, what she's up against in the world as it relates to opportunities. And how do I cover her without being disruptive? He listened to her, not in this moment, but because you can tell that they are taking their time, they're getting to know each other, courtship. He knows a little bit about her background, her lack of experience. I'm going to play it again. And grabbed her hand. Didn't look at her, but probably could feel her energy. Child, baby. You say, Gail says Nick also kisses her hands. I know a lot of y'all sitting at home to my damn. I done picked the wrong one, Queen. Hold on. I ain't trying to start no mess on this Friday now. I appreciate what you got in your house. But listen, when it's done right, aren't we proud of these young folks? Danya says Nick told her to make a list and everything in her dreams will come true. Baby, I'm going to make me a list tonight as soon as I get up out of here. Listen, I'm going to go back and replay it. I just think it's really beautiful. Watch this. We're going to run it one more time.
One Nicolandria fan, delusion never stops. So she's nervous.
Hold on. I'm going to start it all over. Look at Alandria. Alandria, poor little baby. All right, here we go. So that's Amaya. So did y'all just see what happened? If you notice, she's not looking at him. Let me run it again. She never looked to see what he's doing with his hand. She felt it through her energy. Right here. He did it. She did it. Anybody know the point I'm trying to make? The Bible talks about that a woman mimics the headship of her husband. Samantha said, don't go stressing your husband out tonight. A woman mimics the headship of the husband, even if it's dysfunctional. She didn't look at him to see what he did with his hand. She felt it, and she did it. Samantha, that's funny. Yep. They are in sync. That's correct. And that's a natural display that the Bible is true. I'm not trying to convert anybody, but the Bible says that a woman, it's important for a man to do the right thing when it comes to a woman so that you don't taint her, because she will naturally follow your lead. And that's exactly what she did. Thank you, Mayor of YouTube. I'm going to bring that up in just a second. You said you sent it to me. Now watch this. So she mimicked his hand. And I believe the reason why she adjusted, because it didn't feel right for her as a woman, right? Okay, that's more how men hold their hands. That feels unnatural. So I'm going to let it go. And now he's grabbing her. It's okay. You see, he's covering her. Come on, Nick. That's it. I just wanted to show y'all that real quick. That's it. All right. So let me go to Ace, old peanut head ass. Hold on. Being messy about Nick and Alandria when he didn't have to. Hold on. Ace claims Taylor was influenced by production to couple with Alandria. I'm sorry. Some things are better left unsaid. What I said, peanut head ass. I love the way he covers her too, Jesse. He is a real man. But you know what? I know we over here talking about these people, but do you know you have the same power to influence your kids like that by mimicking and role modeling what love and respect and honor looks like in your house? You ain't got to say a word if you're already displaying that. I love it for her. I hope it works out for them. I hope they get to a point where they are really into each other. You know what I'm saying? And even if they're not, it's okay. They are doing exactly what they're supposed to. Too many women cheat themselves. Too many girls cheat themselves. You give it up too quick. It ain't about being a game. It ain't about a game, but it's establishing yourself fundamentally. So if it doesn't work out, you really ain't lost nothing because you ain't gave nothing. Sierra was heartbroken about Nick, not because of Alandria, because you slutted yourself out on TV in front of America. Y'all, I told you it's going to be some ouch moments. And you thought that what you did was enough to keep him. It's not. Men work differently. Some men work differently. You did all of that, and he still fell for the girl. It was just something about him, about her. I agree, Samantha. I'm going back to Ace. You said Ace really tainted opportunities for him and Chelly with that interview. Even Essence had to clarify their caption that the magazine, oh my God. Yeah, because it doesn't make sense for, I'm going to be honest, for a black man to be attacking Alandria like that. People probably were taken back. It's tacky. It's tacky. It was uncalled for. And he did. So what you were, and that's why I strongly believe from a spiritual level, you were trying to cripple their opportunities, because that which you mean for me, you ultimately do to yourself. If you were attempting to cripple their opportunities, you actually crippled your own. You crippled your own. That's why you got to be careful when you're trying to plot and plan against folks. Debbie said, I like Nick and Alandria as a couple. They make a great team. Listen, baby, wedding gonna be fire. Family gonna be fire. That mama, his mom walked into the villa loving Alandria. Period. She didn't know what was going on in real time, right? Loving Alandria before Nicolandria even knew they were a thing. Both parents are on board. Both sides of the fence were on board. Sharon, he sure was jealous of Jeremiah. What Essence put out as a okay. Sierra thought, but that's what most women think. That's the icing on top. Your Essence will win and get you there every time. And if he ain't interested, he's not interested. It doesn't mean that you're not a wife. You just not his wife. And I hate that she slutted herself out. Huda slutted herself out, and the little piece of man that Huda has, the one that she's claiming has this huge deal with Netflix, so she can't talk about it because of Netflix. He ain't gonna be there too long. He'll have a good time with her and move on. Yep. You said Nick never wanted Sierra. She was convenient, but he never wanted her. He feels the need to protect Alandria. He isn't being asked to do anything for her. He wants to give her the world. Listen, Alandria said something that was so beautiful. She sat down. There's a middle-aged white lady, and they call her, I'm going to find it for you. And Alandria said, this is the first time that I get to fully show up as my feminine self with being a man. Typically, I call the shots, I run the show. But with him, I don't have to do anything but just be. And if that ain't beautiful, I don't know what is. And that's why I think it's so important for women to sit back in the cut and don't give too much too soon. So if it don't work out, Amaya Papaya, you're not heartbreaking. You're not heartbroken on TikTok talking about your mental health because you didn't lay your body out like a buffet. Ace confirms after running his mouth that he and Nick are no longer friends. Good for you, Nick. I think you thought that was a weak white boy that you can push over. You didn't honor him and respect him as a human being because he was nice to you. He was nice to you. He didn't give you a lot of problems. Everybody's not raised in these tumultuous families, Everybody does not have adverse childhood experience and all of these tough, traumatizing childhood experiences like some of us do as Black people. So sometimes we take people for granted and you think, oh, that white boy, this and that. No, he's just as much of a man as you are. And he has no problems not being friends with you. Being friends don't mean that you get to dominate me. So I don't blame Nick if he decides it's better off not hanging out with you. Here we go. Let's see. So after Ace decides that he's going to go, hold on.
Nicolandria and Nick's relationship
Here he goes.
is real.
He is such a fucking hater. Hold on.
Do you feel like Nicolandria and Nick's relationship is real?
I want you to pay attention to the envy, the disgust. What have they done to you? Let's go back. And now just pay attention to the facial expressions.
Is this you thinking, or is this your answer? I'm going to assume that that's your answer. Mm-hmm. Is that tough for you because Alandria is someone that you consider to be a close friend?
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking way in the world we could be friends with you sitting up on that podcast. And then Speedy came back the next day and spun the block on the interview and said that Ace had talked a lot of crap. He didn't say it in those words, but insinuated that Ace was serious about what he said because there's some things that he highlighted with more detail off camera about Nick and Alandria. Why do you give a damn? Why do you give a damn if Nick's not sexually attracted to her? What does it have to do with you and Shelly in the bedroom?
Yeah, it really is tough for me because, again, she just came out here for Shelly's birthday and we all spent a time together at the club and we all kicking and shit like that. So I have a lot of respect for Alandria.
No, you don't. She just left. She just left and thought she was amongst friends. And you go do this interview and try to chop her down at her knees. Not only did you talk about her and Nick, you said Taylor didn't like her neither. You, with friends like you, where's that coming from? And Shelly, you knew he was going to say it. You can't tell me you sleeping with that man and not knowing what he plans on saying. That's cold-hearted. Y'all, we see this every day on YouTube. You just broke bread with her. She flew in all the way from Texas. That's a 4.5-hour flight from Houston to Los Angeles. She paid a pretty penny for that to celebrate your woman. And the way you celebrate her and the thanks she gets is you go on a podcast and talk shit about her. That's crazy.
But again, from the last conversation that I've had with, Nick, it was a matter of it's not a romantic spark. They just, you know what I'm saying? They find each other attractive.
Nick and Alandria's relationship,
Okay, but why is that your business? You could have politely declined to comment and say, I like where they are. It seems that you could have said a lot. Anywho, this is Alandria's response. She said, child, anyway, my event at Tuskegee went amazing. Love it, queen. Love it. Now let's continue.
In silence, you've expressed your opinions on that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the other relationships that have come from Love Island are real?
Yeah, Taylor and Clark. I know that's for sure real.
And
he messy. He real messy. Taylor and Clark is real. I'm gonna make sure I cover Taylor so that he don't get no what do y'all call it? Flack from the audience. But I'm gonna throw her ass under the bus for whatever reason.
The other ones, not so much, or in silence.
I don't like that smug look. What about you and Shelly? Are y'all? I mean, what do y'all have going on?
You've expressed your opinions on that.
Let me see what y'all are saying. Because I can't with this. I don't understand where it's coming from. I don't. It's uncalled for. But let's see. Taylor was on live. I'm gonna see if I can find it, baby. I dug deep. Taylor was on live last night. Not last night. I saw a video of Taylor. Taylor is interesting. Clark was on live playing with him in a playful manner. And you know what he said on that live to her? I'll take all those Louis Vuitton bags back that I bought you. Keep it up, pretty much. And I'll take those things back or those items back to the store. Taylor, who are you? Let me find out. He said, I will take that stuff back. Sure did. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it because I was up. Let's get into this Ace interview real quick. We're gonna highlight a few parts of it and go from there. All right, here we go. Let me know when y'all can see. There we go. Oh, really, Sonia? She said he's always pushing Clark out of his lives. Who? Girl, you think so? Samantha said he don't like Women Queen, in my opinion. Taylor likes the other team. That's her opinion. You think, really? They said that he was thank you, Jesse. They were also saying that Taylor was pushing her head and was doing something on her on a live, and the chat had to keep saying to him, stop doing that. That's abusive to do that to a woman. Y'all feel that way? So y'all feel like Taylor, why? Can I ask why? I'm not saying you're wrong or right. Speedy, a lot of time asking him about Alandria. He's also made other comments about her on social media that tell me he has something against Alandria. These men don't think she deserves to shine. I think because of her skin tone. But okay. But everybody's going to deny it because they know it's gross. But I think because of the skin tone, most people subconsciously do not view that as a measure of beauty in the Black community, especially when you got the light brights like Ace and Speedy. In their mind, they would not choose that type of woman. They typically go for a Latina, a biracial, or another exotic look. So I think they're gagging that Nick, the type they would normally go for in a female version, finds Alandria worthy. That's my truth. That's what I believe. Here we go. You a damn lie. He said, from me. Who you talking about? I went on the show to find love, not clout. You a damn lie. What brand deal have you turned down? That's what we all go on there for. Who the fuck wouldn't? So what? Why you care? Why you jealous? That's what you're supposed to do. Are you mad because you didn't have as many deals coming through as some of the other cast members? It was about taking advantage. Why not? They're supposed to strike while the iron is hot. That's clout. That whack ass song you made, that's clout. This is clout. The fact that you're taking advantage. Okay, I'm not gonna call it clout, but you're taking, just because your timing is different doesn't mean that because they came out and they went full throttle that they're clout chasing. They're taking. Oh, are y'all kidding me? Can y'all hear me now? 5:58. Can y'all hear? Oh man, hold on. Uh-oh. It's not sharing? Let's hit stop sharing. Let me try it again. Oh, hold on. Share screen. Okay, we got the audio tab ready to go. Let's try it again. Let me go back.
With somebody
Yeah.
and spoke. Why? Why is that the case?
Did y'all hear that little piece? Yes or no? Damn. Y'all can't hear it? Okay, I'm gonna play it just from the beginning. Oh, y'all can hear it now. Okay, pray. Okay, all right. We good to go now. All right, good. Here we go. All right, here we go. Let's start all over. Just give me a 1 starting from here if you can hear it.
I feel like you haven't done an interview yet. Like I've seen you do like little one-off things, right? Like you did like a Vanity Fair with a bunch of Islanders. You did like some GQ shit. And when you came out to Villa, you and Chelly did like some Zoom stuff.
Yeah.
But you haven't yet like sat down with somebody and spoke. Why? Why is that the case?
For me, it was important that I didn't do another interview before coming to you. I know a lot of people had a lot to say instead of seeing through a lot for what was showing. You know what I mean? So I really wanted to take my time, come out the Villa, enjoy my time with family because I haven't seen them for a while, spend time with friends, and obviously spend time with Chelly because for me, going on to the show was about finding love, not finding clout.
Right. You're a damn lie. And that's what I was saying, because he just said in this moment, the reason why I didn't take advantage of the opportunities, because for me, coming on the show was about finding love and not finding clout. You a damn lie. Then why'd you go on the show? You are open just like everybody else. And the fact that their cadence may have been different from yours and they had opportunities that came to them immediately doesn't mean that they're not necessarily open to love. They just had opportunities. Maybe yours came later. The fact that you're sitting in front of Speedy is clout. The fact that you dropped that album is clout. What are you talking about? You mad and you too busy watching and caring what everybody else has going on the show. Let's go.
Right. And I felt like a lot of people, when it came out, it was about taking advantage of their 15 minutes of fame and respect.
Why should they not? They're supposed to strike while the iron is hot. You sound silly.
I ain't show up for that.
I like that. I mean, look, I think you were definitely a little more intentional with your rollout post show, right? Like
we saw strategic. It's called strategic. It doesn't means that he's not cloud chasing. So the same thing that you are accusing them of, you're doing yourself. You probably didn't have as much to roll out. So you had to be careful and drop it every here and there. With nobody chasing you down for interviews, if the truth be told.
Content on your own terms. Like you drop like a little vlog thing at an amusement park, you drop like a little freestyle, but it was like here and there. Whereas it seemed like a lot of people were on live every night. A lot of people were like on every podcast and excited about it. And so I do respect the way you went about it. And I'm honored that you would come here.
Nah, man, I'm honored, man. Like you've been a real model for me, even just, before the Villa.
Okay, so it's an honor for him to sit in front of Speedy, and that's fine. But why are you shitting on everybody else that's taking advantage of the opportunities that come their way?
Watch your content, man, and you really get to the nitty gritty of questions. And I respect your journalism for real.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate those words.
Yeah.
But now you're here, and now we're about to do it.
Sure, man. Let's get it. Yeah.
So your name is Ace, but you also have your own name tatted on your back.
Yeah.
Like, when I was watching the show, I was like, why does he have his own name tatted? What?
Yeah, man. So Ace is
Because he full of himself, and we finna go on. We don't care. We finna go on and get to this Alandria part. Okay, here we go.
The reunion
Yeah.
came out yesterday.
Yeah.
When they see this, it'll probably be 2 days ago. But what are your thoughts on the reunion? Just surface level. Were you excited to go do it? Did you not want to do it? What were your thoughts on how you were portrayed throughout it?
honestly, I didn't want to do the reunion, you know. But the only thing I wanted to do was, you know, look at people in their face and tell them my issues I have with them, clear some things up, and really stand on business.
Okay. He said he came out of the house. He didn't want a clout chase. What was important to him is spending time with the people he loved, his friends and family. Love conquers all, baby. We had to wait a whole month for that reunion. Why you still mad?
Throughout the entire time at the reunion, I feel like things still didn't, you know, make the cut of, you know, certain conversations that I had, clarification, and that is what it is. But honestly, bro, just being at the reunion, it was a little bit hard for me because, you know, I face, you know, anxiety, you know, especially being out inside the villa, and, you know, people were like, oh, why is his voice a little shaky? Because honestly, bro, it's hard, like, dealing with it. Like, I felt some sort of depression, like, coming out, because I'm such a positive person. I felt some sort of depression, like, coming out, because I'm such a positive person.
I think he may have went back. You know how it may not have been a positive experience for you based on some of the things you did and said. And you may not have come across to America the way you thought that you were. And I started to notice that he and Chelly took a decline in energy when they were not constantly on top. You remember the last couple of weeks when America started saying, y'all just don't seem genuine. Y'all are kind of getting a little arrogant, and started saying Chelly's not to be trusted. Ace is not to be trusted. America started to see something, and that hurt his ego, I believe.
Such a happy, you know, loving person that I'm trying to spread that to everybody else, and to see that I was portrayed as something as the opposite of who I am as a person is tough to deal with, you know. And that was my only fear going into this villa was, please just don't make me look like I'm just some evil ass nigga, respectfully. And you gonna be no chopping school shit around here.
Well, here's your opportunity to be real. Let's talk about your time in the villa.
Right.
Day one of the show, if I'm remembering correctly, you walk in with Nick. You're wearing a suit, like he was like tailored up. What do you remember about day one walking into the villa? Were you nervous, excited?
Going into this villa.
Here's the crazy part, the symbolism of it all. He and Nick walked in together. Alandria and Chelly walked in together. Had he not turned on them, they could have all walked out together. And what I mean by that is in present time, in real time today. Ain't that crazy? If you think about it, he and Nick walked in together, according to him, Alandria and Chelly. Bro, you fumbled the friendship ball.
You know, I'm seeing a bunch of beautiful women here. I'm like, okay, you know, these women are here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. Let's truly get to know somebody for them. You know, regardless if 1,000 cameras are looking at us, I want to get to know somebody. So that's what my intent was going into this villa, and really just deep dive into people, because I'm a people person. Like, I love getting to know people and why they were raised the way they were raised, the trauma that they had in 5th grade. I want to know it all.
And so you walk
villa. So when the girls told me that, that's when I, you know, implemented the whole explore thing and get everybody going.
Gotcha. So it's really thanks to you that like the men started kind of getting in there with the ladies.
Yeah.
Before that, it was
He happy as long as you giving him his props. So, the villa didn't get popped off until the women came to you and said that the men were not hunting. And because of you, everybody started exploring. Yeah. And that's fine. But give up everybody else their props.
Yeah.
So then you couple up with Amaya. One of the first conversations you have after that is like, hey, just to let you know, transparently, you know, I'm still going to explore my other connections. I encourage you to do the same.
Yeah.
Amaya's initial reaction was like, yo, you could have said that to me tomorrow. It's giving player vibes.
Yeah.
No, he shitted on her in what was supposed to be an up moment. He didn't want her to stay on that high too long. He was mean to her. He didn't have to say that to her. He didn't have to do that. That's what made Amaya say, wait a minute. We could have had this talk in the morning over coffee. You literally just picked me. Now you're telling me don't expect A, B, C, D out of me. Hell, what part of the game is this? Where they do this at?
What did you feel when she said that?
First things first, let me just say I love Amaya, you know, and I see that she wears her emotions on her sleeve. What a lot of people didn't get to see within our very first conversation, she had expressed some of the traumatic experiences she's dealt within relationships. And of course, I want to be there for her and lend my shoulder to her to, you know, cry. You know,
I'm sorry. I understood him setting boundaries with Amaya, and that's fine because Amaya is a bit touchy-feely. You know, not everybody likes that, but I felt like he was mean to her in hindsight. I was like, damn, you're a bit harsh. You don't have to be so harsh, so cold. Did anybody else share that experience? Or do you feel like there's a possibility I could be reading too much into it? Do you feel like it was the right amount of correction? Okay, let's continue. I want to get to the part where he's talking about Alandria. Because I don't want to hear about how you wanted to look out for Amaya. You didn't. You course corrected, I think, after you realized how it would appear and come across. Later, post show. Let me see. Here we go.
bullying. Now, quote unquote, I've seen some of the clips of where they're taking out of context and copy and pasting into different parts to where it can make it seem like I'm talking about her. That's not the case. Like, and I've been very clear with Amaya, and it sucks that people didn't get to see a friendship that we built, because after maybe about 6-7 days after the whole babe incident, we were cool. Like, we didn't both apologize to each other and both said, look, I'm sorry for the way I came off because this wasn't my intent. She was like, look, I'm sorry for the way this came off because that wasn't my intent.
Amaya's response was a reaction to how you treated her. I'm not trying to, excuse any ill behavior, but Amaya, that was a defense mechanism for how harsh you were towards her. Now, you claim that you taught the other guys how to treat the girls. How come you didn't implement that in your treatment towards Amaya? All right, now we're finna get into the part where he's talking about Taylor. Hold on.
When she was making this little slick comments the night before about, yo, Ace, I know you don't like to be touched, so give me a high five, like right before bed, knowing that me and Amaya have been arguing all day, it's not adding, any type of help to the situation that I got going on right now. So boom, with her, making that comment of, it was I'd rather kiss you than Amaya and all that. Respectfully, it's like that ship has already been sailed. I've been over that.
Boy, grow the fuck up. It wasn't that serious. You made such a big deal over Amaya calling you babe and touching you, and she wasn't touching you sexually. You put that out on display in Front Street. You made such a big deal that she came back around and she joked. So now all of these women have to be responsible for your emotional security.
For that whole situation. So the fact that you're still trying to insert yourself in everybody else's issues is pissing me off. You know what I mean? Like, even Austin had felt some type of way because Huda had took his words about Shelly and transformed it into something else than it was. And it's been multiple occurrences with that. And since day one. So I could understand where he was, coming from. As far as Alandria, that's my dog. And I
Have you noticed both he and Taylor refer to Alandria as a dog? That's my dog. Taylor said the same thing on the reunion. You still my dog. First of all, even if you're not attracted to her, don't masculate her. She's a beautiful, feminine woman. That's not your fucking dog. She ain't your homeboy. Those are words that you use with men, your homies. He just did the same thing. I just caught that. Thank you, Jade. Thank you for the 2 Ps and the pepper. We appreciate your support of the channel, Queen. Yes. Let me see if I got any others before we continue. We got, okay. Thank you. All right. Did y'all catch that? He and Taylor both kind of have the same disregard for her femininity and her and how to value her as a woman. That's my dog. No, you don't even refer to Huda as your dog or any of the other women in the house as your dog. It's very disrespectful. The hell? Let me continue.
And I definitely can feel for her and I understand where she was coming from. And, I always found myself having to, help out Taylor when it comes to like putting his best foot forward to try and get to know Alandria in different ways. And as far as Alandria, I understood everything she said. She was valid for feeling everything that she felt in that villa. And for me, I was stuck between a rock and a hard place trying to help out both of my closest friends at the time. So,
because if I'm understanding correctly, Alandria is your good friend. Taylor's also your good friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much Alandria is interested in Taylor.
Yeah.
And you know how much something or someone or whatever is influencing Taylor to want to be with him.
You helped him use her. You helped him use her. Talk that shit now that you were talking in a villa when you stuck your chest out on cameras preaching to men how men gotta be men. How come you didn't keep that same energy? Nah, bro, we don't use women like that. If that means you leaving the villa, you gotta go, but you cannot. You cannot do that to her, manipulate her, play her, rape her emotionally, just so you get to stay and play the game. You ain't a good friend to nobody. That's not your friend. You saw her as disposable, which is why it's hard for you to refer to her in a soft, delicate way. And both you and Taylor say, that's my dog. That's no nigga. That's no different than saying that's my nigga. You helped him use her to stay and win the game. And that's why America saw through that. I don't think they saw it that clearly, right? But at the same time, America says something ain't right about Ace and Chelly. And you remember they said they are not to be trusted. I think they got it right.
With Alandria. Am I interpreting that correctly?
Yeah, definitely. And I know Alandria definitely really was trying to get to know someone for them. And it sucks that she had to deal with that and get the shit in the stick of that whole entire equation. But, again, Taylor had reached some influences amongst that situation to where he had no other choice.
Did other people, or were other people aware of those influences? Or kind of were you only aware of it because he told you? Like, did Alandria know about those influences?
Alandria did know about those influences. And it sucks because I couldn't tell Alandria about those influences, at that moment in time, because it's just the way the world, spans.
And now you fucking laughing about it and still trying to drag her name for filth, okay? In front of the entire world on a podcast. It's funny. It's funny to him. I told y'all think I be, that's what I blocked. Let me tell you something. I blocked some people. They'll never be able to comment on my page again. I don't mind y'all feeling some kind of way about content, right? We disagree sometimes. But if you think you're going to sit up on my page and run me down as a woman, bad to the ground, because you disagree with content and you windmilling for a nigga, and then we go on to different content the next day, I keep telling y'all there is a bro code in spite of sexual orientation that men will hold fast to, even if it's at the detriment of you as a woman. And some of you women are insistent on learning the hard way. This motherfucker knew what was happening to Alandria, and he finds it funny. Okay, so we moved on from that. Taylor has found Clark. Alandria has moved on. And now you trying to tear up the shit that she got with the white boy. Who are you? Bridget Denise, thank you for the 10-piece super sticker. We appreciate you, Queen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, so when I be saying stuff about men gonna stick together, y'all don't be trying to hear that. You see it right here in living color. Laughing about it. That girl getting used.
It may feel like I'm jumping around a bit, but I'm honestly just going chronologically. Yeah, that's how I see things better visually in order.
Yeah.
So Huda pulled you for a chat after something transpired, and she then divulged to you that she was a mother.
Yeah.
Did you know that she was a mom prior to that?
No. Right.
Okay, because some people felt like, oh, maybe he knew already that she had.
My whole thing is with that is like, when you keep reiterating to everybody, like, you know, I'm a mom, I'm like.
And to be honest with you, Huda, in my opinion, and I'm not a Huda fan at all, Huda disclosed that to Ace to get him up off her back. I think she felt intimidated by you. I feel like she knew you was coming for her for whatever reason. It's something about Ace. I don't know. We would have never had our eye on you had you not stopped talking. I mean, had you not done this interview. Now you've pretty much exposed yourself. You kind of acting like you're not a good person. Hold on. Here we go. Now he's talking about Austin.
There, particularly Austin, who maybe had no motion in the villa at the time, who could have very easily gotten voted home instead of Jeremiah.
Yeah.
At the reunion, they showed a clip that kind of showed you still doubling down on the fact that Jeremiah should be the one to go home, and Nick being the one to be like, hey, I think Austin should go home.
Right.
Is what we saw actually how it transpired?
No, not at all. Even at the reunion, they didn't show this. I don't understand why they didn't show it, but you know, again, that's how the world works. But I had said this is not the full clip. You guys are starting this clip at, oh, I think we should send Jeremiah home. We went through the pros and cons of every person, all of us. I said the pros to Pepe Stan. I don't feel he did this, but I feel like he has more pros than cons. Keep Pepe. Went through the cons of Austin. He hasn't did this, he hasn't did that, but I also feel like he hasn't got a chance to get this and get that. Then we went to Jeremiah. After doing all of those things,
he wanted all of the tricky men to stay in the house and the honest ones out. The men that were in touch and wanted to give it a shot, he wanted to punish them. Get them out of here. They say Pepe tricky too. They say Pepe, you know, he just broke up with Iris. They say Pepe is tricky too. They say he know how to turn it, and that came from Austin. Thank you, Side Eye Sage 7. Thank you for the 5 piece and a pepper. She said Ace is a nasty piece of work, Queen. He also knows that subconsciously. Alandria has doubts because of the cultural racial differences in Alabama. Oh, absolutely. And probably because of little black boys like him that made fun of her or made her feel less than as a child. He's not, what'd you say simply, Angela? He's not acting. He's not a nice person. Let me get to the part. Let me go.
Things, then they started the clip of, I think we should take Jeremiah home. So it sucks that the full picture didn't get painted right then and there, because again, the reunion is supposed to clear things up. When things aren't being cleared up, that makes me feel some type of way. But regarding the
let's go to Taylor.
Did Taylor want to get to know Andrea?
Yeah, for sure, overly.
Do you feel like he was maybe incentivized to vote to send Jeremiah home to get him out the paint? That way he could focus and lock in on Andrea.
I know he definitely really wanted to get to know Andrea.
So him and Taylor was low-key being fuck boys, right? Behind the scenes and plotting which girls and which guys to get rid of so that he can remain in the house, vertically challenged, and Taylor's goofy ass can remain in the house. Let's flip the house so we are the best two up in here. Let's get rid of any competition by way of aesthetically pleasing, anybody that's emotionally well, and we'll be the two best things in here since sliced bread.
I'll just leave it at that. I know he did.
What was your experience with Andrea?
My experience with Andrea, you know, the first thing that she had mentioned to me off the first introduction of, you know, she had came down the stairs for the Meg Thee Stallion challenge and gave me a hug. And the first thing she said was, well, I know you don't want to be touched, because, you know, she had already, you know, watched the whole interaction of Amaya. And for me, it sucks because it was putting me at a disadvantage to get to know different women amongst the house. And when she had made that comment, I was already off of it right then and there. And I know she still wanted to get to know me as well. You know, she had made me smoothies in the kitchen and shit like that. I was like, yo, we got to chop it up. We got to get to know each other. But again, I already had Shelly at the end of the day. So, and I made that clear at the fire pit that
you had Shelly in your back pocket, but you wouldn't just go on hard. You had Shelly ass on the shelf and she let you prop her up and put her on layaway until you were ready. But I think low key, you kind of knew. Well, I ain't gonna even say that because that can be considered too much shade. I'm gonna hold some of my thoughts to myself. I think Ace is a very good looking guy. I think he's charming, but I don't think every family would readily and easily welcome him into their home. I'm not sure he has a crossover appeal, if y'all know what I'm talking about. And some of those girls were out of your league, like Iris. Iris was out of your league when it comes to her nice white family. Okay, Pepe barely made the cut because her mama was side-eyeing his ass. And let me shut up. Let me be quiet. So when you really measured what you could reach for, I think it came to you. Shit, let me go back to Shelly. Am I lying, Rhea? Rhea say, yep. You know them white folks. Okay, you all right. You cute. Okay. But okay. No, not my Iris. Not my Iris. Mm-mm. He wanted Huda. Huda would have spazzed out on his ass. Pepe barely made the cut with them white folks. Listen, I'm just telling you, saw Iris mama. Y'all watch the same show I watched. She was rightfully so. She know. She said, hold on. You know, these Latin and black men, they don't really value family now, Iris. I need you to stay alongside Jason to TJ. Iris, I know it seems exciting, provocative, but Iris, mayor of YouTube tonight, it's true. Shit, did I tell a lie? But let's continue. I want to get to this part about he was out of his league and went back. Here we go.
Because again, like first week is a little bit hazy. Everybody's trying to get to explore everybody, you know, and that's just that. But as time goes on, didn't nobody really, you know, see a connection brewing from that. And even when Alandria got X from the island and she came over back to the villa, they still had doubled down and said, yeah, nah, this ain't that trust. You know what I mean? So just to see all the commotion about now, I'm like, wow, it's crazy.
Was it Alandria maybe that didn't see Nick romantically, or was it Nick that didn't see her romantically?
I feel like it was both. Like I felt like Alandria has been very adamant on telling me what her type is, and like, yo,
She was very adamant about her type. She was, and it ticked me off because that's all she knew. So she can only speak to what she knows. But as she began to explore, and you saw Pepe and Nick getting up to make sure she got up safely, but as she began to be more open, she's come to know that there's more than her type. Hell, you saw Nick on that interview when they said, Alandria, but you like cowboys. And Nick said, she got one now. And they said, wait a minute, are you a cowboy? He said, I'm learning how to be. Boom. So be quiet, Ace.
my type is this. I see myself dating this. You know, I've experienced dating different backgrounds and stuff like that. But I knew for a fact Alandria wasn't going to openly explore that. And I know the same thing about Nick. I know Nick finds Alandria attractive. I know he finds her gorgeous, but she is like, don't get me wrong, Alandria is fire. But I know it wasn't that anymore than what it was surface level. Because again, Nick.
Alandria shared that though. She said her being from Alabama, although Nick was attractive, she just typically know they don't cross those racial barriers from where she's from. So she didn't even allow the thought to enter her mind that there could be anything more than physical attraction. Yeah, he did. WM Coco. She says, thank you, Queen. Nick did say he's a cowboy. He said he's learning. And guess who's teaching him? Taylor. He said he goes back and forth to Oklahoma and Taylor is teaching him how to be a cowboy. Y'all, this is the last bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and end it.
Nick had tested that connection. He said it wasn't enough for him. And he went back to Sierra. And then boom, again, Sierra gets axed. And now that's
he's back with Alandria. Yeah. So had Nick ever explicitly told you, yo, I'm interested in Alandria romantically?
No, like it's always been a fact of she's attractive.
But why is Nick obligated to give you his every waking thought? Who the fuck are you, the Pope?
Mm-hmm. So what's it like for you now to come out the villa and like Nicolandria is like a movement?
Yeah.
Now. As someone who experienced it firsthand, what is your reaction to Nicolandria?
For me, reacting to the whole Nicolandra thing, I was really happy for Alandria. Like she had been dealt bad cards throughout that whole entire experience, and just to see her coming out and getting you know, a sense of happiness, that's what I really cared about throughout this whole entire process. So
I asked you how you felt about Nicolandria, and you say you're happy for Alandria. What about Nick?
Yeah, I'm happy for Nick too. I'm happy for Nick too. I'm happy for both of them. It's just I'm really happy for Alandria because
No, you're not. No, you're not. You just laughed at Taylor using her.
Again, we developed a really close bond in there as well.
Let's talk about the heart rate challenge.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, that's all I got for him. Please go to Speedy's channel and watch the rest of the interview. I didn't want to play everything over here. It's interesting. It gives you more insight into Ace and where he is. And I hate the fact that I don't feel like he's really, I think he's utilizing this show as a damper, almost like it's not good. Like it hasn't been a good experience for him. And I think, Ace, that's by your own doing. I think you were too strategic. I think you played the game too hard. And as a result, you lost fair and favor with the people. But that you caused that. We were riding for you. That's it. That's all, y'all. I just wanted to kind of run that down. What are your thoughts? Let me get through some of these comments, and then we're going to wrap up. But make sure y'all come back at 7 p.m. I'm dropping a video. Brian broke up with Amaya. Brian dumped that girl, used that girl and dumped her. Listen, I feel bad for her, but there's a part of me. You'll hear it. You'll hear it. You'll hear it in the content. Oh, I won't, Samantha. I say that from early. She says Ace really tainted opportunities for him and Shelly with that interview. Yes, he did. Sharon says he was jealous of Jeremiah too. He did. He did. He broke up Huda and Jeremiah because he knew they had a strong connection. He tried, but Jeremiah is a little bit more refined. He would have stood his ground non-verbally. But Ace was really gunning hard to get Jeremiah out of there. Gugu, I hope I'm saying it correctly. I think Ace can't stand losing. I think Ace is not a good friend for Alandria. What he did was a lack of respect. He did not have the success he hoped for this interview at all. At all. It was horrible. It was a waste. Good for Speedy. Good for Speedy. Bad for Ace. And this is the part where you just want to reach through the screen and say, shut up. That's why it's good to have good friends. Be like, nah, don't do that. Bro, it's going to look like just what you did to Amaya and Huda, and why they felt like they were being bullied by you. You kind of like pushing women around a little bit. Pick on somebody your own size. Literally. Oh, Herbal Tea says Speedy is Dominican and many Hispanics are colorists. Oh, yeah. So you hit the nail on the head. When you were saying why they keep laughing about Alandria, because they don't subconsciously feel like she's worth the fanfare. How's she get this attention? How's she getting all these deals? That's just a dark-skinned black chick. I wouldn't pick her. I'm not attracted to her. That's you. But what God has for people is what he has for people. Quit watching what she got going on. Maybe if you get on your knees and pray and give a little time, as opposed to trying to sabotage everybody else, your door will open for you. Pseudo Chick says Huda, Amaya, and Ace are all the same people in different fonts. That's creative. That's a creative comment. It did not. Sage, I have to agree. She says Ace is not a good person. None of that comes from a positive place. I wonder what's going on with him. Because even if you can't do it, even if you've had your moments on the show, you've had a month to love on Shelly. You've had a month to, hell, even Huda fixed her delivery. Come on, Ace. Something is going on. Apparently, Ace was the villa producer. You know what? I saw that Ace was ticked off. People were saying because he wanted to produce. I hope he didn't mess up further opportunities for himself. Let me see. That's that one. We got that one. Ace calls Nick fake, claims he said one thing off camera and another on. It's called time. He probably did say that on camera, but why are you so pressed? You have this beautiful young lady in front of you that you should be focused on. Why are you so pressed? I think it's because of the opportunities that have knocked for both Nick and Alandria. And I'm sorry, it's given envious. It's given jealousy. It's given hate. It's given hate. And maybe in the Black community, you are, the great white hope, the great light hope. And, you got them clawing at your feet and crawling just to have you. But that doesn't mean you have a crossover appeal. Your time was coming. If you would have just sat back. Hold on, let me see. I think the mayor of YouTube sent me something. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to send it to you. I'm going to play the video. This is for the Aqua campaign, a full video of Nicolandria. Let's check it out. And then we're done. I can't believe y'all hung out with me this Friday. I normally don't come on Fridays. Give me 1 second. But I wish nothing but the best for Alandria. I'm happy for her. And I hope there's more of that. And I hope it continues. And I hope she's able to establish a little nest egg by way of financial resources. And they just take it to the next level if it feels right.
Careful out there today, folks. It's going to be a scorcher. Stay hydrated, stay thirsty.
Oh, yeah. I'm thirsty and so dehydrated. I need something with taste, something with bubbles, something that could handle my thirst. I would take a beer. Come here, Nicky Poo. Give mommy a kiss.
Oh, yeah. Careful out there today, folks. It's going to be a...
All right, Alandra, congratulations to you and Nicky Poo. And that's what I'm talking about. And that's one of the things that Alandria highlighted that Nick and his family have done. Anytime that a corporation wants him for an opportunity, because it would have been really easy to pluck and plug in a Latin girl in that seat, Middle Eastern, Asian, white, exotic looking, but they made sure she was in that seat. And that's why you got to be good to people and hope and pray that your people find you and your people are plugging your name in rooms when others like Ace ain't. You get what I'm saying? All it takes is to run up on the right tribe for somebody to say, you know what? Let me bring so-and-so along too. I mean, it ain't always about sexing somebody down and getting in the bedroom and doing this and that to establish. If you're attracted, I believe he is attracted to her because a man's heart goes where his money is. If he wasn't attracted to her, if he didn't have any intention on being with her in the future, he would not be setting her up for financial success. Hell, half of these Negroes out here want y'all to pay half on a $600 apartment. Come on now. We going 50-50. Would never put your name on a lucrative rap contract or make sure that whatever they get, you get a piece of the pie, period. Just off GP. So that's all I'm saying. Ace, you could never. Keep them people name out your mouth. That's it. That's all. Until next time, y'all, I will see you later.